Round one, fight.
And that's the bottom line.
And his kick is good.
I need a weapon.
You cannot escape.
You forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them?
Here we go.
It's time for the main event.
What's up and welcome to the Single Player Experience, the podcast dedicated to all things single player gaming. As always, I'm your host, Sebastion, and each week we'll dive into the latest news, in-depth reviews, handpicked recommendations, and talk about our gaming journeys on this show. So whether you're here for the newest releases, the hidden gems, or just want to hear somebody like shoot the shit about their favorite video games, we got you covered. So grab a controller, whatever it is you do while listening to your favorite podcast, and let's get into the world of single player games. So everyone, I got one of my favorite guests back onto the show. This is a guy who I like to talk with about video games, about sports, about pretty much everything that goes on in all of nerddom, and also, complain about my Mavs. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of Reg in the ATL. This guy is absolutely amazing. Love listening to his show. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is Reggie. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. I cannot complain. We have an Oblivion drop here that happened, so life is pretty good this week, man.
I want to dive right into that. So I haven't been feeling Avowed as much as I thought I would. I was hoping Avowed would kind of have that itch, cure that itch of Western RPGs that I felt was missing last year. Last year it felt like it was all Eastern JRPGs and their style of
Final Fantasy
RPGs
last year, right? We had
Final
for sure.
Fantasy,
Beginning of last year, okay.
Final Fantasy. So it was the big RPGs. I think it was Grand Blue. It was Final Fantasy. There was Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth was at the beginning of that year.
Was Metaphor the same year? Was that the same year with Metaphor?
Back in that October, it was Metaphor Refantasio. So I'm it was a lot of that style of RPGs, but what was missing in that market was the Western style RPGs, the Elder Scrolls, the Bethesda style, I guess the Outer Worlds, that type of game was missing. But then we're getting that crazy this year because
because we're getting Avowed and Outer Worlds. I was a little bit shocked by that. A little bit.
Yeah,
I'm as a studio that's there, as a studio like that, I gotta look and break down the particulars to see if they're development wise they're different. But I'm looking at a studio like that, I'm like, you guys don't have enough shots, in my opinion, to be shooting two in the same year. You guys maybe should have shot the Outer Limits shot next year, or shot. You see what I'm saying? Done the Outer shot Worlds this year, and then the Outer Worlds next year. You know what I mean? But they're packing it into 25, man.
And on top of that, Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
Yes, an amazing game. I absolutely love that game. My favorite game of the year so far.
So we're getting it's all that I wanted last year. We're kind of getting this year, and
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna just be real with you. Avowed didn't hit like that for me. I got into Avowed and I rolled credits, but it was it was almost like pulling teeth. I almost had to force myself. It was. Basically, how I feel about Avowed is how I feel about watching my Dallas Mavericks after the Luka trade.
Goodness gracious, man. Was it that bad? What did the Avowed team do? I get. I mean, was it that bad on the Avowed team? I get the Mavericks, but man, being put in the same conversation as them is pretty. Pretty sad it wasn't
it wasn't like they pissed me off like the Mavs did. The Mavs, it's almost like I'm going through heartbreak on. So I guess it's a little strong analogy there, but on the Avowed side of the fence, it was I wanted more, the thing that I was delivered didn't amount to what I thought the potential had to be. And from everything I saw in the lead up, I was a little worried, but I thought this is the same team that made, Fallout New Vegas, they have that pedigree there. And then I get my hands on to it and the gameplay feels good. The story just quite isn't clicking with me. And then the environment kind of feels stagnant. Nothing feels like it evolves as you go. And then I hate the companions. Absolutely despise them.
Goodness gracious. That's not good, man. I mean, you can't be traveling with people that you actively hate and be forced to actually play the game with them. Do you have no go-to? I feel like the girl, the I'm trying to figure out what her name is. Begins with a G, I want to say. She never came out because of her healing. She has never came out of my companions, which is something that I don't like about that, by the way. if you're going to, I like games that kind of spread that healing capability around, so you're not stuck with one character that's you're gonna have to have in your party all the time. So pretty much you got one slot open, because if you want a healer, you got one slot unless you're the healer yourself, and then you maybe
I
that
think it was
opens up for
Giada,
you.
right?
Yes, she would. Now,
Mhm.
if you have, has stayed in my, she stayed pretty much in my party the entire time. Like, she comes out only on occasion, and I think that one of the things that really struck, if there's anything that struck me about this game, was missed opportunities. I think if I could say what summed up for me is missed opportunities, that's what the summary would be. Missed opportunities here, because I think of a game. This game is decent enough to get me through it, and that's a testament of itself. Of a person like me who has so many options and things to do. If I am spending a decent amount of time invested in your game, that is something in of itself, because I am here. You know what I mean? And it's at least enough to keep me here. The thing I don't like about Valve is it got so repetitive, and at a certain point, it seems lazy. You had the enemies, and this might be something that I only noticed, but I definitely noticed it. But the perpetual skeleton swinging the sword like over their head, and the sword getting stuck, and they're like, this was what it was, and pretty consistent. Like you had this enemy in different iterations. Like it wasn't the same. It was the same guy. I don't know if you, for us old gaming heads, remember back in the day, Double Dragon back in the day. And then
Yeah.
you'd have like the Bobo, right? And you fight the Bobo, and then you fight the red Bobo. Now it's the exact same character. It's the exact same moveset. Everything that's happening is exactly the same. But now he's red. And now that's harder. He's a harder character now, but I felt we should have evolved from that now. Like we should have evolved from, now we're going to give this person the exact same moveset, but we're going to give them a name, right? Instead of just being skeleton number one, they're going to have like an Arthur or something, but they're doing the exact same thing. They're doing the same thing, Sebastion, as all the other skeletons with this particular moveset do, or all the other, it won't even be the skeletons, by the way. It'll be elves. It'll be different races of characters doing the exact same move set. And I'm thinking, like, did you feel like from a testing standpoint, from a development standpoint, that this was not noticeable? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was the bears. Like fighting 10,000 bears never felt fun in that game.
They had a lot of young bears. They weren't that young, by the way. They weren't cubs. I tell you that.
No, and I kept fighting. It was like fighting the same bears and lizards over and over again. And I'm like, after a certain point, that got old. But then, like, oddly enough, I'm contradicting myself here. Is like, one of the things I didn't like is that the enemies never refreshed. So if I had to backtrack, I was just walking through an empty ass map a lot of the time, because like after you kill an enemy, it never respawns, So I'm like,
yeah, man.
So you better get done with like a whole section of the game before you go on to that next section, because if you have to go back, it's just brutal.
Oh, there's a guy getting stuck, by the way. We just came across. He's got an axe, and there he is. Yeah. He just got stuck, and he's going to keep swinging that axe at you. And another thing, too, is if you have like 1 million people fighting with 2 companions, I'm pissed that half of the enemies are concentrated on me. That's always something that's annoyed me in gaming. Like if you have 3 enemies and and the enemy's trying to kill all 3 of us, so there's no point in letting any of us live. Like they're trying to kill all 3, but they like focus on you. Like you're like you'll have half the map chasing you. You're just running around, but like half the map chasing you around, just focusing on you specifically. I think other games should just have done stuff like this better. It might be nitpicky, but I think other games have done stuff like this better. And if you have this amount of time that you're expecting people to invest in your game, then pay attention to these things that can be more immersion breaking at times. You know what I mean?
The only lesson I think to be taken from Avowed, because I do think Avowed has some good merits to it, is like, I would love for this gameplay, like the swiftness of it and all that, especially with the wands and the spells, because I think those were the MVPs of the game here. But like, I would love for that,
which I did use the entire time, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I would love for that to be implemented in like Elder Scrolls going forward. Like
versus kind of what they've been doing. I think that's a nice. I agree.
So it would modernize Elder Scrolls a bit to where like I feel like I started playing Oblivion today, and I think like it's all nostalgia, and I think it's a great looking, I guess you could say, installment of like, it's a great remaster, so to speak. But I don't necessarily feel like I feel like I played that game before, and I have like 20 years ago, but it's one of those to where I'm like, I love that there's a lot of added features, but I wish it would almost be sped up a bit. Like it feels like I'm playing that game at half speed after playing Avowed.
Is it like the pace? So you feel like is it? What is that? What do you think that is? Is that the graphics, the FPS? So what is? Because I don't even think that we got this Oblivion. I don't think has HDR. So I gotta go back and see, but I don't think it does.
It's one of those weird things to where I'm like, I feel like it might just be the style of like the combat that was popular with games back in 2006 when that game came out. But
That's interesting because that's one of Bethesda's things. Like they thought it was that was one of their markers that they wanted to nail that point home. We've updated the combat and all. That was one of the things they were planting their flag, so to speak, on during their direct.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just it is a little like slow compared to modern contemporary games. It's not like and again, it's a remaster. You kind of want it to pay homage to what came before. You don't want to deviate too far from what people know and love about the game. But then like
For sure.
it does feel like I'm so used to playing games that are swifter, that require you to parry and all that kind of stuff and have good timing now. It's like that game feels like you're playing in easy mode, even on normal. So I'm like, when I have the shield in my hand, for instance, and I have a sword, like the enemy lunges at me like these rats in the sewer at the very beginning. It feels like those things are moving in slow motion, and I got plenty of time to just raise my shield up, as opposed to like games that are like Avowed. I would get my teeth like knocked down my throat just from being like a split second too late on parries and blocks. And that's one of the things I sort of miss about games, that modernized games, versus games of yesteryear where like the pacing, I feel like on the combat side was very sluggish. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here and you can tell me, like, because I did capture a little footage today, and you can kind of tell me what you think about it. But I don't think it's bad. It's not bad combat by any means. It's just slow a little bit compared to what I was kind of expecting, I guess, or what I remembered in my mind. In your mind, I think you have like these rosy sort of outlooks.
Absolutely
on
right.
Yeah,
And that's just in life in general, right? Whether it's relationships, whether it's like school, whether like you think about all those good moments, right? And then you forget like the tank type control system. When you go back and play some of those games, you play those controls, you're instantaneously back in 2006. You're like, no, absolutely not. So it's funny to see that some of that would have stayed around. I think also, Sebastion, like you do have the nostalgia. One of the things that Todd Howard and them were saying, and it was that they did want to reserve some of that. They didn't want to change it or modernize it in totality because of some of that. So far, I've got only 2 to 3 hours into this game so far. But about in my couple hours of playing it. For one, the fact that I played it for a couple hours, I am very big. I have a lot of stuff I can do, so I'm very big on taking a step back and looking at my habits and seeing what I did. Like, did I get right off the game? Did I say I love it but played it for 15 minutes? Or did I say I hated it and was on it for like hours? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of situation. And in this particular game, I was on it for 3 hours. I would love to get rid of the crosshair, by the way. That crosshair is real. I hate games that don't allow me to turn off crosshairs. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. I can't stand it. I don't see a cross. Oh, there it is. There it is, right in the center there. Right in the center. Can't stand that.
Do you want, like, are you playing this game in first person, third person, or?
I tend to go between the two. I feel like if you're used to playing Bethesda games, one of the things that you get used to playing Bethesda games is having to do both. If you want to pick up items and stuff, you might go to pick that apple up. Third person, it ain't working out for you. First person, that comes really snatch that thing right up, and then there you go. So it just depends. And I feel like something that Bethesda games lend themselves to is the length of them allows for this, right? So the length of these games, you can play 30 hours in one view and 30, 40, 50 hours in another view easily. You know what I mean? So I tend to go back. It
feels like two different games at that point, doesn't it?
It does. And sometimes I'm in the mood for one versus the other. So I will go back and forth with the combat. I think it looks better because remember, Bethesda has never been great on the combat, and it's not really been their bread and butter.
Nah, for sure not.
So to speak,
for sure not. But
I know this time.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like one of the things I kind of got into whenever I started early this morning is like I was doing the rigmarole, creating my character and all that, and I was reminded of how bad creating characters used to be in the past.
Oh, terrible, man. Terrible. It took me about an hour to try to get some person that looked at least remotely decent from a person of color standpoint. You know, I'm just like, I don't. You
Man.
get like a burgundy, you could turn the thing all the way up to 100, and sometimes it's like charcoal. You're definitely reminded of that. And then the hair options are absolutely ridiculous. Like I chose an Imperial character, and he does not have any black hairstyles. Like I had to go with my character is bald because I wanted him to have like certain speechcraft, certain characteristics I wanted for that character, or a certain background. Got locked into that, so they did not update that for people.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
for sure.
maybe I need to go back there and see.
No,
how bad
it's
that
still
was, but
terrible.
not
It's
great.
absolutely god
Terrible,
awful.
sure.
Because I was
Especially when you're playing other games they're killing you. Like you're getting killed by like 2K now. You're getting destroyed by like the sports games.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. But no, yeah, I'm like, my character was going around looking like 12 years a slave because like the hairstyles are so outdated. The face is like so busted up and wrinkled. It looks like all my life my character had to fight. You know, like he looks
the struggle. Your character is wearing the struggle, man.
He is. He looks like he looks like a side character from Django. Like he legitimately looks like that. So
yeah, I struggle with that too. By the way, during character creation, I was like, "Oh, you getting me break." It took me a lot longer on that than I wanted to spend, but it was because of that, though. Yeah. That's why it took me a lot longer.
So, do you feel like you're gonna deep dive into Oblivion here, or like to give me your history on Elder Scrolls Oblivion? Like, did you play this back in the day?
World where, yeah, man, I'm gonna be here because here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. Like I am a super nerd, man. Like, and when it comes to this kind of stuff, that super nerddom runs so deep. Like back, like of course I'm going to play this. Of course when I went home, I had to make a decision because I'm right on the last boss of Avowed. Okay, and I had to make a decision. Like, am I going to see this through, or am I going to download Oblivion and start playing it immediately? And you know what I chose. Avowed is out of here. It was out of here in
off the
a
console.
Get it out of here, man. Because anytime there's any Bethesda anything, especially coming from the old Bethesda, it's like the old Kanye coming from the old Bethesda. You know what I mean? You're like, man, like any speak of remaster, Lord, for real, a Skyrim remaster would be a week off, like for some people, like instantaneously. So it's like, of course, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna play every single bit of this game because I'm a nerd, but at the same time, I like the polish because it's got more polish, and I can tell they took more time on this.
For sure.
It's not just a lipstick on a pig, it's effort put in here. But at the same time, you do notice a difference if you play a lot of games these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you play games these days, you are going to notice some differences. That's just like what I would have to put out there as a disclaimer. Like if you're used to playing games, especially if you're gaming like me, you're with a PS5 Pro, where you're so used to playing games, the bus fidelity, FPS, and stuff like that. You're not. I mean, it's gonna be some adjustments. It's gonna be some adjustments here.
It really is.
But if you like storyline, I like story-based games. Storyline, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna check through it.
So, is this going to be your first playthrough of Oblivion, or did you play this back in the day?
No, man, I was there, man. I was there. Yeah, it's crazy for a lot of these games. That's why it's so funny because as you get older, with a lot of these games, this isn't just like a mystery for you. Like when you talk about the Nintendo with the robot and all, I was there, bro. Like I had the Nintendo with the robot, with the Mario Kart, with the Duck Hunt gun, man. I was like literally there because I'm just so old. Like I was there for all these things. And Oblivion just another one of those things. You know what I mean? That I was there for it. But I want to say that was kind of like my first entry into Elder Scrolls. And I got my Xbox in 2006. Funny story about getting my Xbox, though. I will tell you this. I got my Xbox in 2006. So 2005, I didn't buy. I want to say 2005 was when it first came out. I didn't bite on it immediately. I was still playing my PlayStation 2, okay, at this time. When it came time, what made me go buy an Xbox was Gears of War came out, and I'm like, I can't live without what's going on. You see what's going on over here. I can't live without it. So now I went in order to get my Xbox 360, and I got the upgraded one too. Because I think there was 2 SKUs at the time, and I got the upgraded one, I think, with the hard drive. I traded in games. I traded in about 50 games, 50 to 60 PlayStation 2 games for my Xbox. Now, I remember I did this. There's a mall down in Atlanta. It's called Cumberland Mall, and there's a GameStop there. I still remember to this day. No, it wasn't at GameStop. Actually, it was a standalone GameStop, not at a mall. I go in there with the games. and a salesperson had to help me separately. That's how many games I came in with, so many games to like check
Oh, you
out
were
that
ready.
another person had to actually check people out while this person's going through all my games to try to trade in for my Xbox. And I had like a scroll of a receipt. It was like a scroll of a receipt, about 50 to 60 PlayStation 2 games that I traded in. Best decision I ever made. It was very amazing. I went home, played my Gears, and at that time, I think I had Gears, but it wasn't like a ton. I don't remember. And I'm a year into the console's life cycle now, but I think it's like there wasn't a ton going on. So I feel like Oblivion was kind of like a must play because it was reviewed well at the time.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't a lot going on. I don't think around then, because Gears is what made me buy it. But I was not really a huge Halo guy, so it wasn't like that what attracted me.
So that was it for you then at that point.
Yeah, it was Gears is what made me buy it. And then I kind of branched off into games like Oblivion.
Okay.
But I'm happy I did, because that was my first Elder Scrolls. I mean, that's Elder Scrolls, what, 4? I didn't 1, 2, and 3. I have no clue what those are.
Yeah.
I didn't play them.
Yeah, I heard good things about Morrowind, the predecessor to
Me
Oblivion.
too. I've heard too. I have friends who played it.
But I never thought about getting I never thought about going backwards. So Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls, and then that was also the first game I ever 100%ed, like platinumed or got all the achievements for.
How many hours did that take?
That was like
100%.
Yeah. Well, so like
Goodness
that was
gracious.
the first one where I popped all the achievements for. And I never done that.
And this is pre DLC, like pre the DLCs for it. Okay.
Yeah. So this was before like the Shimmering Owls and all that kind of the other 2 expansions came out for it. So I'm like, I was a little late to the train. I think I was a year late, but then I loved everything about it. I feel
like I was too, though. I gotta go back and see, Sebastion. I don't know. I don't know if it was a first release game. I don't know if Oblivion like released a launch title for the 360, because if it did, I would have been a year late also, because I came at 2006 holiday-ish, I want to say. I think Gears was. So I came around there. And if Oblivion was close to a launch title, then I would have been about the same time, about a year-ish.
Yeah. So yeah, the Xbox 360 was 2005. Oblivion was 2006. So yeah, it was a little bit of So I was a little late to that as well. So I was one of those people who I heard good things about Elder Scrolls, but then like by the time I got around to it, I found a used copy and I just was devouring that bad boy up. It was probably my first major Western RPG that I just fell in love with, because beforehand I was always into the turn-based JRPG style games. So this was like a major turning point for my gaming journey. And yeah, I loved it. I did all the guilds, like the 3 major guild, or 4, right? Because I'm gonna count the Colosseum part. So there was Colosseum, there's the Brotherhood, there's a Thieves Guild, there's the Magic Guild. Oh, and also like the Adventurers Guild. So there's 5 major guilds apart from like the expansion stuff. So yeah, I was deep into that thing. But
how many playthroughs? Is that all on one playthrough? That 100%? Or you?
Yeah, I believe that was all on one playthrough. I was able to manage to do that, because I don't remember replaying. That was before the days of New Game Plus and such like that too. So
I see.
Yeah, so I had no inkling of wanting to go back and redo that. I think by the time I got done with that, I think it was around the time I got into Mass Effect. I think that was the next.
I was gonna say this was also pre Mass Effect, also, right? Before we get into like the BioWare age of things.
Yeah, I think that was the next like Dragon Age and Mass Effect were probably my next series after this that I really got into series wise, outside of like the regular sports games that I play all the time. But yeah, I was feasting on this game, and I thought about it when I was like, whenever I was downloading this game last night, all 128 gigs of it.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
I thought about how I was going to play Oblivion this go around, and I didn't know. For one thing, I didn't know if I was going to use that same strategy, because I always like having kind of like shield, sword, magic, kind of like three-piece combo on deck. And
yeah, man. And jack of all trades type situation.
Yeah, for sure. But then I've seen so many cool people over the years like do a lot of interesting things with the bows and arrows. I've seen a lot of people do, like just go hand to hand, throwing two pieces at anybody that moves.
Crazy. I have never been that brave, bro. I
haven't
still
either.
haven't yet been able to even virtually do that. Like I would just, because this is so not me. It's
Nah.
so not me to do this. So it's like it just is the furthest thing from mine. But it's funny to
Nah.
see people out there like with dragons and they got they're like
two pieces just straight with their hands. They're like, come at me, bro. And I'm like, so one time I think it goes, so you start off with like mostly around that 0 point skill level, and you have to like do things within the game to build your actual skills. So like I would always like jump to my destination, like wherever I would roam to, just constantly keep jumping, because it would constantly keep raising your what's it?
Yeah, or athletics and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
athletics.
And,
Aerodynamics.
Called aerobics or
Aerobics, that's what it was.
But you definitely can by just or you can just sneak across a forest, and now your sneak is amazing. Like,
yeah, that's so that's all I did in the cellar, by the way, was just sneak the whole entire time. And by the time I left that cellar, I was like already at 30% towards max. And I was like, at one point, so I'm like, at one point, I remembered a little like skill that I would do back in the day, and it would be like, let a rat hit me just enough to where like it would hurt me a little bit, and then I'd just heal from it. Hurt me a little bit, just heal from it, and then it would just raise my healing ability all the way up, like all the way.
Hilarious. That is funny, man.
Yeah, and then I would just find like little shortcuts like that, and a part of me wants to go through that grind again, and a part of me remembers like that's a grind.
Do you really want to? Because you got to think about this, man. Because I think about the same thing. If you get games like Skyrim back in the day, do I want to smith a million knives? Do you want to, Reg? Like, do you want to go back to the life where you're smithing a million daggers? Do you want to do it? Like, and I'm thinking like, man, I liked it back then. It felt like I was getting ahead of the game. It felt like here, my smithing is incredible. And all I've had to do is spend all day smithing these daggers. I'm selling them. I got a dagger business I'm running, because I'm running right in to sell them or doing whatever I got to do. You know what I mean? I'm getting them off. But then I think about it. No, I don't. Maybe just because I'm older, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I just want to play the game. And then what's going to have to happen is if I get my blacksmithing up, like organically, then that's just the way I'm playing games now. Like I think if anything, that's where I'm probably different in my gaming now. I'm just letting it ride, man. Because back then I'm getting it to 100 as quick as possible. Like, let me just get everything there. You're sneaking over to the bench to craft knives. You're going and you're selling them. You're getting 3 things up all at once. And it's kind of like, why? Like, why would you do that? The game doesn't even call for that level of difficulty. Like, it doesn't even call for that. You could have beat the game a lot of times for people who do stuff like that. At least I know for me, like from a leveling up standpoint, bro, you could have beat the game like 20 hours ago. Like 20 hours ago, if you had chosen to just go beat the game, you could have. But now I'm roaming around the forest. I'm picking flowers. I'm doing whatever random thing is going on in the game is what I'm doing, instead of actually going and beating it. So that's sometimes the fun part about these games, to be honest.
Yeah. So in this, it's a weird little weird mix up here, because like in Oblivion, I feel like I might want to get lost in the sauce a little bit, but then I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows for a little bit now.
Okay. How do you like that? I haven't even gone down the road, man. I can't, but I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard mixed, not bad, not really great, but not bad though. I'll say that, like mixed, but from a mid level, nobody really outright crapping on the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But mixed.
I think that's right on par with how I feel about it. It's, that feeling when you go to like Applebee's or Chili's or like that sort of level. Like, that's how I equate.
Yes, I absolutely do.
Yeah, that's basically like, I feel like these games are the Chili's of video games now. To where
it's like Assassin's Creed, the Chili's, man. That's hilarious.
It's like, you're not eating fine dining. You're not eating good. This isn't like Ghost of Tsushima or like The Last of Us, like that level, that quadruple A level, to where you're experiencing absolute peak cinema. This is just like comfort food ass gaming, and that's what it feels like. It's like Assassin's Creed Shadows feels like I've played this game 4 times already, and they just like changed the setting up a little bit. They have a little bit of different skills and everything like that, but it feels like I've already played this game, and that's okay. I mean, if you're a fan of that,
Japan too, man. Like the feudal Japan, like the setting, because it looks like feudal Japan setting.
Yeah,
and
it
I've
is.
had played, like, I just deep dived into Rise of the Ronin, and it's kind of like I am feudal Japanned out right now, like with the setting. Sometimes that'll be a me thing and not necessarily even a game thing. Like it'll be like if I play 3 games and they're all World War III games, so then I'm like I'm World War III out. Or you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you have games that have a certain setting, and I think it's a feudal Japan setting, especially after deep diving into Rise of the Ronin, like I did.
Yeah, I can get that. I can get that
I would
completely.
need a break. I would need a break. Like looking here at this game, maybe late this year for me to give me enough space from Rise of the Ronin.
I don't think you're gonna play this later this year, if I'm being honest, fam. I don't think you're gonna do it.
Where would you place this? Would you think I get to it mid next year? Or you think I get to it just you pretty much punted it out of the year for sure.
I think that's accurate. I don't think you get to this game. Like I don't think you get to this game, like, unless you really have an urge to play like Assassin's Creed at the time. I don't foresee you getting to this, especially
It's
after
like
the
you
new.
said though, man. It's just like how often do you have the urge to go to Chili's? And when you think about the same thing, is like I
Mhm.
do get the urge to go to Chili's. I just don't get the urge often, but I do on occasion. I remember like a ribs, something I may want from there, and maybe now and then I miss the rinse and repeat nature of Assassin's Creed, like jumping around, parkouring around, and then hopping on somebody, or a little bit of dialogue between. Got some RPG elements in there. It's like okay, it's nice, but there has to be kind of like space in the gaming schedule as far as a release standpoint. And also, I have the other Assassin's Creed that, even though these two Assassin's Creeds aren't the same, I still want to play through the other Assassin's Creed that I have before I get to this one. It doesn't make any sense to me to play, because the other Assassin's Creed is not bad enough for me not to play it at all.
Which one is that one that you're?
It's the one right before this one, and I don't know if it's like
Mirage. Yeah,
Mirage, is it?
Mirage. Yeah,
Yeah, so Mirage.
Mirage ain't bad. It's
about
just
10 hours ish into Mirage, into other games that have kind of pulled me away from it. So I've always said to myself that I'm going to go back to it, knock it out before I even continue to go down the Assassin's Creed road, because it's Assassin's. That's like you said with the comfort meal. It's Assassin's Creed enough. Like it's not Chili's, but it's Applebee's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's Assassin's Creed enough for me to feel
Yeah.
that itch, just to scratch that, to feel that need.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, like this one feels like Odyssey, and it feels like Valhalla in a lot of different ways, and
Yeah,
and
and I love those, by the way. I played Valhalla a ton. I played
that's
Valhalla a ton.
that's I would probably equate that more like this is more like Valhalla and Odyssey than it is like a Mirage. Mirage feels like classic Assassin's Creed where you're actually doing a lot more
Correct.
stealthing. Yeah. This is the RPGs, and they feel good, except in Odyssey like Odyssey and Valhalla, I think like what I really liked about them is you could get as good as you want to, as fast as you want to, because you're like a badass in the world. Like you can go out there, and if you murk somebody, you just get those skill points. You get all the joys that you get from getting like really good gear and equipping really
Yeah.
good gear. And this one, you still get that, but then like I hate the fact that it's all like gated, so to speak, because it makes you have to explore the world in order to unlock those next levels, those next tiers of like
Forced exploration, basically.
yeah, unlocking those skills. So one of the things I absolutely despise about this game and is that you have to go to so many of these different points, like whether it be like the classic tall ass like skyscrapers where you can see where they do the 360 spin and you see the area around you. You have to do
Man,
that,
goodness,
but you
that's
have to
still
do
in there, huh? Goodness, that's just never coming out, man. That's like the Michael. What is that? Who's the director? Is it Michael Bay that uses that same kind of like 360 camera spinning? Like it's just you're gonna see it in all my films, bro. You just gotta deal with it, and that's just something that you got to deal with. Assassin's Creed, man. You're gonna get that 360 view.
So even then, that's not the worst part. The worst part is like they make you go and pick up they make you go to these different areas in order to get better at like unlocking better skills. It's called knowledge points, and knowledge points is like, oh well, I'm finding out more about the world, so by proxy that means I'm gonna be able to unlock more skills. And it's ridiculous because like you have to find like 4 scrolls in this certain area, this large area, or 3 scrolls in this large area, and you have to hunt. And they don't really tell you where the scrolls are. They just tell you when you're getting close to them. So you have to hunt, and sometimes they might be under a building, sometimes they may be on top of one, sometimes they may be in one.
Are you forced to hunt for those?
it's harder to complete the game without doing these type of missions, because like are these type of like activities within the game, or you go from like there's certain points, instead of scrolls they have you find shrines that you pray at, and you have to pray at 3 shrines in order to get those knowledge points, and those knowledge points at the end let you unlock a different tier of skills that you can use further in the game. So like in Odyssey and Odyssey and Valhalla, they have a skill that lets you do the Spartan kick. Like, that big kick where you kind of go from like 300, where he goes, "This is Sparta," and he kicks the guy right in the chest.
Yeah, man.
Those games let you use skills like that, or poison your blade, different things like that. You can't unlock those skills without knowledge points in this game, and knowledge points are tied to doing almost like random useless things in the world. Like, oh, I'll pray at 4 shrines so I
They
get
feel
knowledge
like
points.
task, so to speak, like having to do task or having to complete random things, random quests, fetch quest-ish, I should say.
It's not even fetch quests, because you're not even giving those things to people. Like, you're not even like, oh, I'm presenting like all these scrolls to a master, and that master's going to teach me his skills. No, it's like, oh, well, you prayed at 4 shrines, so now you have one knowledge bar or 1 knowledge point, and now that you've gotten like 10 knowledge points, you move on to the next like tier that you can unlock skills. Oh, that knowledge, and then like you still have, and not to mention, you still have to kill people to unlock and get actual skill points in the world. So it's 2 things that you're hunting after for in this one. You're hunting knowledge points, and then you're also hunting skills. And then it has this weird bug that you're seeing on the screen right here, where I assassinated one dude. He lays on the ground.
I was gonna say, is that like a zombie? Is this Assassin's Creed Zombies, man? Because I think you just killed somebody that got right back up off the ground just now.
He got right up like the Undertaker from wrestling. And that's like a weird bug in the game sometimes, where like you'll assassinate.
Does that happen repeatedly? They just get right back up? Are they dead though? Are they saying anything?
So like they're dead. No, like they'll go and then they'll like fall to the ground, or like they'll go like, or I'll catch them while they're laying on the ground, like taking a nap, and they'll go and then like all of a sudden they'll go like, "Intruder," and rise like the Undertaker.
Man.
So it's a little buggy, it's a little janky. It's also like gated progression in a way that I think is like cheap, as opposed to making you naturally explore the world. So it's like,
for sure,
you
absolutely. I hate that.
So I feel like there's not any incentive, if you're already tired of like this locale and this setting, and the Assassin's Creed formula doesn't seem like it's screaming your name. There's not really like a pull to get you into that world, at least in this game. So, and another reason I don't think you're going to want to go to that is just how stacked this year is going to be.
Man, I think that you're right about that, because if we get to, Lord forbid, guys, ladies and gents, Lord forbid we get that GTA. Get that GTA.
It's a wrap.
I'm going ahead. I'm taking it. I'm taking it all. I took it off. I took off work for it. GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? 12 years ago. Was that 2013? I want to say.
Yeah, that was 2013.
12 years ago. And I am prepared to definitely do it again.
How many days you want to take off for this one?
Man, so here's the thing. Around that time, I got a vacation coming up. It depends. When I say around that time, I'm being very hopeful that there is a time, first and foremost. And second of all, that I'm thinking I got a vacation coming up around October-ish, where I'm going to be overseas in October. So I'm going to think if I'm back from there, because I got to take vacation for that. Here's the thing. There's no situation where it doesn't get a day or two, no matter what my vacation status is. No matter what my vacation status is, I'm not going to work that day. Like there's just not, and nor the day after. So the day that it drops and the day after, I won't be at work. Okay.
So it better not come out on a Tuesday.
No, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be right during the middle of the week, bro. Tuesday, Wednesday. I will see you on Thursday.
Okay.
I will see you on Thursday, man. And if depending on, there's a lot of things. Are we getting online at the same time? Do I need to go ahead and start stacking up my online persona here, because I need to start working on that's a lot of work I got to do. If I have to,
are you going to be playing the online version?
Yeah, I'm playing everything, man. Like, so when I played, remember the first one came out and the online came out about a month later, and it was a whole debacle. It's nice that they worked through those challenges, because it's become printing money for them since it's been out. But I was hopping on the online even back then when we're all waiting. The people that were playing GTA when it first dropped and you're dealing with the online version of that. We all remember the circle spinning in the middle and just praying it loaded, just praying that this is the time that it loads us into the game. Like, you remember those days? Those were like the earlier days of just playing GTA Online. And I will definitely be there for this. If they do it the same, I don't know if it's going to do it at the same time, but if they do it at the same time, I will be there for both, man.
How excited are you?
Absolutely.
Like, what's your 1 to 10? How excited are you for GTA 6?
Oh, man, 12. Man, you kidding me? 12, bro. I am ready. I've been ready. But the thing is, I love Rockstar. Rockstar just is quality gaming to me. It's just a quality gaming company. I love the company. So when they release games, I'm usually going to pay attention, of course, because of past experiences. And they're not the only company I felt that way. I mean, I felt that way about Bethesda before. Like, the whole Starfield kind of situation was like a little bit.
Yeah, that killed me off of
it. Shook me, not all the way to my core, but it definitely shook my faith a little bit. I'll tell you that. It's no Rockstar. If Rockstar doesn't have his Starfield right now. Rockstar just delivers. They deliver. I think they're going to deliver again here. And I just can't wait for that to happen, man. I am way above a 10. That's why that time off could easily stretch to 4 days, depending on what I get. If I get it online also, and I might need to add another day or so to explore that. I don't know.
I'm almost more excited for the hype around this game, like, of everyone playing it at the same time, and the world like almost shutting down from people requesting time off and talking nothing else but about this game. Like, I'm almost more excited about that than to play the game itself, and I'm really excited to play the game.
Yes, man. Coming 2025. You see that?
I can't imagine it's still coming.
It hasn't been. I've had friends who expressed this as well, and my view on that is we need to wait. I think Take-Two. What month are we in? April. We need to wait till Take-Two's next. This is going to be nerd stuff, financial nerddom stuff, but their shareholders. When they talk to their shareholders, they do their financial reports their next time when they speak again, because then we're getting pretty close. If they're going to, if you now are going to have to prepare shareholders for this not coming out this year, if you're that close, you know what I mean? You
for sure.
are going to have to let them know, hey guys, we're probably going to miss this window. Like, or you got to let them know that now. There's no way. It'd be a disaster for you to wait till like a month or two ahead of time, have shareholders piling into this, you know what I mean? Piling into Take-Two stock just to come in and be like, oh man, my bad, 2026 guys, spring. And they're like, what? Like, it'll be a disaster.
So if you're Take-Two and you do decide, hey, we need to delay this game until like spring of 2026, you better stack this year up. Like, you better tell the shareholders, hey, we got a new Borderlands coming out. We got
Borderlands coming out.
Yeah, we got Mafia. They said this year, but I think that's gonna get whichever year GTA comes out. I think Mafia comes out like way away from that window.
You think GTA pushes Mafia just out, and if GTA flips, Mafia's like, here's our chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly. The same day GTA gets delayed, Take-Two better be like, hey, this is Mafia's new date now. Like, Mafia's new date.
Whatever date GTA was, it's Mafia's date.
Yeah, it's Mafia's date now. So I'm like, they need to do that.
That's hilarious.
They need to do that. They need to tell them, hey, we got NBA 2K, we got that. We just put out Civilizations. So I'm like, we just put out WWE. They need to say, hey, we got some bangers coming out, but GTA's coming.
I feel like it's so priced in, bro, only to a certain degree. The 2Ks of the world are priced in. Maybe the Borderlands not, because, 2K is annual release. So I feel like that's priced in. WWE, I feel like also, I think that's an annual.
Yeah, that's
annual. I'm not a WWE fan, but I think it's an annual. So those I feel like are priced in. Your Borderlands won't be. So maybe, but if there's an imminent release date for Borderlands, then it is going to be kind of priced into the stock a little bit if the release date's imminent.
They haven't even announced that. They haven't announced any release dates because of GTA. Because I'm like, they haven't announced Borderlands.
That's what my friend is saying too. My friend he's echoing your sentiments here. He said, "Hey, where's the date?" And I said, "Hey, the date will make me feel better too. Let's not get me wrong. We're the date. If you're a video game fan, like we all know, the date will make us feel better, and you still don't trust the date. You don't even trust that, and we don't even have that." No. So I get the hesitation here. So I'm really just hoping, or I would say not even just hoping, I'm just holding out to the next shareholder meeting for Take-Two. If Take-Two does their next shareholder meeting and doesn't say anything about it, then I'm going to still be optimistic that we're gonna make 2025.
So I got good news for you. Even if GTA doesn't make it, I got a game that they announced a release date for today.
Okay.
And if this hits its release date, based on what you told me like earlier, I wonder if you're still going to be excited. So I'm gonna play a little trailer. We're gonna see what the hype level is, and whether or not this changes your mind about like the fall or anything like that. So
All
here
right,
we
let's
go.
do it.
All right, this is based on what you told me earlier too. So I'm wondering.
Now this is interesting because I don't know if this had a date before. We didn't have a date for this before, right?
They just announced the date this morning. This morning.
Sucker Punch, excellent studio, by the way.
Man, they hitting it. I love the soundtrack already.
The storytelling at this graphic level is incredible. Telling you, for people who are
Mhm.
gone through the graphic journey of gaming, just to get into the storytelling, this amount of immersion and graphic level is incredible.
You're not lying. This sort of gives me like a feudal Japan Hateful Eight kind of vibe to it.
For sure.
And I like that. By the way, that same story is the exact same story of Assassin's Creed Shadows as well.
Which is also Assassin's Creed, which is out now.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Bruh.
It's nice, man. It's nice. I mean, come on, man. You know, I mean, this is another. I can't play Assassin's Creed. You know, when the stuff
You're
like
not
this is
lying.
happening out here. And when stuff like this is happening out here, man, because I would have to, if I'm gonna take a feudal break, it won't be for Assassin's Creed at this point.
No. That's when you told me about that, I was smiling, thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder if it's like appetite's gonna come back for this.
Yeah, man. How can it not? This was an amazing experience back in the day. Yeah, bro. Like
October 2nd, 2025 is Ghost of Tsushima.
Well,
2.
see, so when you said, so you had information because you know me, man. So you already knew. You knew for a fact Assassin's Creed was out of here. You already knew it was out of here. So you had information, and you were absolutely right. There would be no Assassin's Creed this year. So maybe next year, maybe we'll get to it in 26, because definitely for that iteration, if I need to fill Assassin's Creed between now and then, it'll be Mirage. I will definitely be revisiting feudal Japan, but it will not be in Assassin's Creed this year.
If I
Then
wouldn't
after
like
that, maybe to mid 26. I mean, we might be deep into 26 the way things are going. So this is the end of the year.
Yeah.
This is fourth quarter, you know?
Yeah, so yeah, man, Ghost of Yote looks like it's gonna be a baller ass game. He liked Assassin's Creed Shadows, but everything I'm seeing from Yote looks like a higher class experience.
Goodness. Just like an upgrade, the top shelf, if you will.
Yeah, it looks like I just got done eating like Chili's and now I'm about to go to a steakhouse. Like I'm getting to go to a steakhouse.
That's hilarious. Special occasions, man. It's birthdays,
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to get like a creme de la creme steak with some wine and everything like that. That's how like Yote to Assassin's Creed feels at this point.
Goodness, man.
So I want to ask you though. So what are you playing right now though? Like, because I know time is valuable in this stage of your life. What are you playing right now?
I've been playing. I think I was playing with Kingdom Come Deliverance, a Taken Over Life. Okay, so
what happened?
It just Kingdom Come Deliverance was just I beat it. I had no more Kingdom Come Deliverance to play, and I was frustrated. If there was DLC, I would have copped it and been playing it immediately if that was available.
What you playing on, by the way?
It wasn't PlayStation.
Okay.
PlayStation is my console of choice, but Game Pass will just destroy that. Like, if there's a Game Pass, I don't care how much I love PlayStation. If a game comes out on Game Pass, I'm not purchasing it on PlayStation. I'm just not going to do it. So I will be. So I'm going to, even though it's my console of choice, I think it just goes down to the next controller. To be honest with you, I just like the controller better on the PlayStation. I tend to play more games on it. So I played it on the PlayStation. When I beat it, I needed a game to go to, so then I went to Avowed. And that's what kind of got me in Avowed. I started playing Avowed and all that stuff. And then Oblivion is kind of punting that out of here. You know what I mean? So I literally started playing Oblivion, just yesterday is when it dropped. So we started playing it yesterday. Another game, Blueprints.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it for people who haven't played that game. It's a very interesting game, very interesting play. So you play Blueprints and FC25, playing a ton of FC25.
FC Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Ton of FC25 as of late.
I had to remind myself because when I heard F, my mind went to like racing at first.
You're right, like F1
like
or something like that. And it is so much, it's another thing too. If you're talking to people who aren't like, depending on how much they're into the sport at all, it's just easier to say FIFA sometimes. So you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even though it's not FIFA anymore, it's easier to just say FIFA than to say FC 25. They're like, what? Okay.
What is FC? Exactly. That's still how my mind is working to me. Like, I'm processing, okay, that's still soccer. Cause like I've been saying FIFA for 20 years now. So I'm like,
Yes, man. And it just feels like you should still say it. And it just feels natural to say. But I've been playing those games a lot and very much enjoying. I haven't really had much of a lull, to be honest with you. And I will play Call of Duty a lot on the Xbox. I play Call of Duty a lot. And I feel like those are the games that kind of been in rotation. And now that Avowed is out of here, which is crazy because I was literally at the last boss, right there.
got
But
no
you
push
know what?
for it.
I mean, my Xbox said, hey, we need 120, what was it, 8 gigs around there, 128 gigs for this game. And I said, Valve has about 70 to 80 of those gigs that I need. And I had to get it out of here.
I feel you. I sacrificed Avowed in that same way. And I'm also playing a game that you mentioned, Blueprints, as well. Or like this.
Great
Are
game.
you a puzzle guy?
I will play, and certain games I play. Me and my girl, we play. I don't know how I forgot this game, by the way. But me and my girl will play. There's certain
Split
games
Fiction.
that are very good. Yeah, Split Fiction. We're definitely playing Split Fiction. We're running through that. But and I could almost do a show on this alone about how gaming. If you were to game in a relationship, if you want a relationship game, there are certain games that are more. And you got to test it out with whoever your partner is, like whatever games they may be into, either watching you play that are maybe entertaining for them to watch, or playing with, like a Split Fiction that you just play interactively with your partner or something like that. And this just happens to be a game that she really likes to watch. So I play a lot of Blueprints just on her request more so. Like a lot of just play.
Has she tried to help you solve the puzzle of trying to get to room 46?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I don't feel like we're anywhere close to it. So it's about roughly 20 days ish in.
Okay.
I would say 18 to 20 days in, somewhere around there.
We're about the same.
But I'm going through the motions very much, man. Like I feel like I'm nowhere closer than wherever I was in the beginning, but it's still fun to play. I think everybody should play it for sure.
Have you so have you started to get the permanent unlocks of the permanent upgrades for Blueprints yet?
No. I mean, I haven't seen. At least I haven't. I don't know if they're available, because sometimes there's a difference between have I access and is it available at the moment. I'm not sure if it's available at the moment, especially in a game like Blueprints. I'm not sure if it's available in the moment, but I haven't came across it though.
All right, so 2 last questions before we go. My first one though, what are you looking to play in the near future?
Man, we just talked about GTA, man. Like you
might not be playing that in the near future.
That is what I'm looking to be playing, man. I'm looking to be playing this GTA, and I'm just going to just really hope it happens. And if it doesn't, I'll settle for Borderlands. I mean, I like Borderlands. I'm a Borderlands fan. So I would definitely settle for playing Borderlands if I don't get my GTA.
So I'm curious though, like you haven't felt the Borderlands fatigue, because that was like the first reveal trailer was one of the most downvoted trailers in recent memory, because it seems, I guess, people didn't necessarily like what was being shown. Or
is it like more of the same? Is that like the kind of feel that people have?
Yeah.
Because it looks like that's what it is. Like it definitely looks like that's what it is. It looks like it's more of the same. Like they're just not really reinventing the wheel here. You know what I mean? They're giving you the same wheel on a different console. I mean, I think it serves a purpose, but I also think that it gives validity to the naysayers. Like they have a point.
Yeah.
It just so happens that if I like Borderlands, now I went through this with Madden. I'm a sports fan, so I'm gonna play Madden. I'm gonna play 2K. And with my non-sports fan friends or people who casually play, this is be a complaint they have about a lot of sports games. They're like, these are just modest like upgrades from year to year. And I'm showing up there every year for them. You know what I mean? For these modest upgrades. So I'm used to this. I think if anything, from a Borderlands standpoint, they're not on annual release schedule. So you think like, hey, come on, guys. Like, I mean, we could do a little
bit of break. Yeah.
I also don't think though that I'm going to be there day one for this. If the reviews aren't incredible, and I don't see something that doesn't look like it's glorified DLC, probably the last Borderlands can be considered just one big Borderland collection, is just one big DLC after a certain point.
I think a lot of people felt that way because Tiny Tina had just come out like semi recently, right? I feel like that was 2 years ago.
When you have games like that, if you have, when you have stuff like that happening and they're giving micro upgrades, basically, you see what I'm saying? Now you're getting 0.5 upgrades. So now when this full release comes out, I used to feel that way about mixtapes back in the day, right? Somebody will release a mixtape that's like 15 songs, not call it an album, but it's 15 songs. Like your album had 13 songs on it, and it's like you basically have released like 3 or 4 of these mixtapes this summer. So it's kind of like you have, so you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're getting so much of something sometimes that it doesn't really feel like it's hitting the same way as like a 4 to 5 year gap. You know what I mean? Because it might say 10 years, but if you have DLC and you have Handsome Jack and other collections and things and repackaging and stuff like that, it doesn't feel like that long, So you need to do something
that way about the Carter 4 back in the day. You were talking about mixtapes and everything. I was like, I felt like that about the Carter 4. I was just like,
you're like, bro, this is not it's not new. You just released something last week, bro. Like literally last week.
And he was on everyone else's, like, he was featured in everyone else's song so much. I was like, I feel like I've got my Wayne, experience. Carter 4 didn't feel as special as Carter 3 or Carter 2.
That's crazy. I guess that's what the Borderlands experience is for the fan base, man. Not feeling that, I guess. I guess we'll see what it looks like when it actually gets here.
Yeah, for sure. My second question, though, this one's a big one because I'm tying in multiple things into one because I got you here and I want to get the answer. All right, so this Switch 2 news. Are you about to break out the $500 to get the game, get the console?
Are you about to? Man, I'm glad I wore this Mario shirt so I can discuss this properly with my Mario gear on. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna let you finish the question. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt there. Go for it.
No. Like, okay. So, all right, this is a multifaceted question here, so bear with me here. One, are you going to pay $500 to get the console, aka the bundle, or would you pay the $450 just buy the console only without Mario Kart, and then pay in that scenario $80 for Mario Kart? Part 2.
Listen to it. It's hard.
It's hard. Part 2 of that question, and this is the real fascinating one. In the year of our Lord, are you about to pay $70 to $90 for Donkey Kong? 2 Zelda games have come out within the last 5 years, and is there a world to where you feel compelled to play any of the Switch 2 lineup and also pay $90 for new Joy-Cons?
I'm glad you asked me this question here at the end, man, because I feel very compelled to cape for the fanboys out here. This is one of the things where I am not necessarily, I've never been a day one Nintendo buyer, but I feel so sorry for the day one Nintendo buyer. I feel like this is like extortion, like you were extorting your fans. And the people that really get hurt are the casual fans, the people who genuinely cannot afford this. And this is the thing for a person like me. When I'm watching the Switch to the direct release, all that stuff, I'm watching it. Now, even though I'm not a Nintendo guy, I am an extreme nerd. I'm always looking to find a reason. Give me a reason, please, to purchase this. Please, when I watch this direct, I want to see this thing and say, you know what, I can't live without it. That's it. I have to. That's what happened to me on the PS Portal, by the way. A coworker brought it to work, and I bought it as soon as I saw him playing it. He's
really?
Like, hey, play this. Yes, he brought it to work, and I played it. I was cloud playing Miles Morales, and I was cloud playing it at work, and I was like, that's it. And it was like $199. I was like, nope, that's it, bro. That's it. I gotta have it. And then that's what I was hoping to see here when I watched the Switch too. I want to see it and have you convert me to being a day one buyer, to having me wanting to stalk this product the way I've stalked products in the past. But for one, because remember, they didn't release the price point during the direct. So when I'm watching it, I did not leave that direct feeling that way. I did not leave the direct feeling, man, I just have to have this, man. Like, what is that like? Are we chatting now, or we got like a Discord on our Switch now, or this is just something that I gotta have? Is that a C button where I can just press it to now chat with my friends? Like, even the dog don't wants nothing to do with this, and I understand that. But is this a situation too where now I have to go and, in hopes of camping out for this console, now pay $500 to play Mario Kart? Like, are you serious? And then the thing is like, it's not even revolutionary Mario Kart, and it looks fun. I'm gonna tell you that. I watched the Mario Kart Direct. It does look fun, but it's Mario Kart. It's like Peach. It's like we're talking about Chili's and Applebee's. Of course, it's like sometimes it's just good. Of course, it's good. It's Mario Kart. Of course, it's good. But you're charging, like, you're extorting people with the pricing is outright extortion. So that's the part I don't understand. And I feel like you're taking advantage a little bit of people who casually would show up for this that aren't going to have the money for it. I feel more sorry for them.
Is Mario Kart $80 good though?
No, it's absolutely not. Now the thing is, I get where Nintendo's going because Nintendo is thinking itself, and when you listen to their execs talk, and they're out there, they're trying. When you listen to them talk, they're saying stuff like, "Well, it's about how much we feel like you can get the experience." And I get from a certain standpoint, from a playability. Of course, if you got Mario Kart or Nintendo, for one, because they're not releasing it annually, you're going to have to play the same Mario Kart with maybe some map updates for like 10 years. So, of course, you're going to get replayability out of it because they're just not going to be releasing a ton of them. And you're kind of forced in here, too. If you want your Mario Kart feel, this is kind of what you're going to be forced to do. Just deal with map updates and stuff of that nature. But I don't understand the thinking that $80 is because you got to think what a lot of people are really concerned about is raising the floor of all gaming prices. And I think that's really the concern here. It's a legitimate concern that with them pulling this, that it'll raise the floor of all gaming prices. And is it worth raising the floor of all gaming prices for Mario Kart? No, it is not. If you're going to raise the floor of all gaming prices, it better be GTA or something. It cannot be Mario Kart. And now we all got to pay higher prices because of that. It's not even like, and they're like, hey, now you can get 4K if you hook this up to your television. Like, welcome to what is that PS4 Pro? Welcome to what year? What year did that come out? And
it felt like I felt like the PS4 Pro. I felt like felt like I saw 4K
look at that, man. You get 4K now. Look at that.
But it's docked. You got to be docked to get that 4K, by the way.
But yeah, don't get it twisted. It's docked, and that me personally, I'm just gonna go ahead and opt for a Steam Deck at this point. You know what I mean? If I need to see something and have it be worth the amount of money that I'm paying technology wise. I need to be able to see that and say, hey, from a technology standpoint, it needs to be worth that amount of money. And for some of the Nintendo fanboys who've really caped hard for Nintendo in this aspect, I get where they're coming from in the sense of they think that maybe the screen it's an LCD, it's not an OLED. You're not getting OLED there, but some people feel like it's an OLED price point. I don't know. I'm really kind of hard to even kind of try to cater for this in any shape, form, or fashion. This just seems like
it is a little harder when you can get like an OLED Steam Deck for that same price.
It's because you got to think about it. You're locked into that game price. If you get a Steam Deck or something, you can take advantage of Steam pricing.
Yeah,
when purchasing games.
Yeah,
and I need that sliding price. Nintendo's not known. I don't know if you do business with Nintendo, but they're not known for that sliding price scale the same way that Xbox, Steam, and PlayStation. Even Xbox, this is something I was very grateful to Steam for, by the way, because even for a long time, Sony didn't do that for a long time. Their games, the prices were what the prices were, but Steam was just coming off the top rope with very cheap games, pricing for games, where you kind of had to adjust. And Nintendo, we all know, has pricing power. They just don't have to do that.
Yeah,
we all know that you're going to pay for that Zelda. You didn't pay for $450 for this to not play for that Zelda, to not pay for this Mario game, to not pay for this Mario Kart. We all know why you bought this. So now we're going to charge you exorbitant prices for it.
Yeah, and I think I feel like what you said is like right on point with how I'm feeling. I don't think there's a Nintendo game on the market that's worth raising the bar for, and this isn't me knocking the quality of those games. It's just like the production value, I know isn't quite up to the same level as what you see on PlayStation and Xbox. I know these aren't like $500 million budget games that you're putting out. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's like
right.
I'm like, you putting out games that if I'm being real here, have like the same image quality as a lot of indie games on the market at this point.
Goodness,
but you have a higher tier of like skill level. Like these are still AAA games. Does the new Souls game, because I know you're a huge Soul fan, entice you to get the Switch?
Man, they almost got me, guys. They almost got me. I'm not gonna lie to you. When we were watching the direct and this From Software thing happened, I'm like, of course, that's when you're kind of leaning back in your seat, you're kind of scrolling through your phone, and the From Software thing comes up. You gotta get up. Let's now. I gotta pay attention and see what's actually going on here. The problem is like I said before, they were smart. They didn't put the price point. I was still riding my high a little bit here. I'm like, okay, well, maybe this thing's manageable. Maybe I'm not day one guy, camp out status, but the second tranche of consoles that gets released. You know, I'll be there for that when I can order it more casually. Maybe I'll show up for that. But that price point, no, not
Nah,
even this. No,
absolutely not.
no,
No,
absolutely
I
not.
I also think like they missed an opportunity here with like the Dust Bloods is a multiplayer game. You know, like I think this could have been Nintendo's version of Bloodborne a little bit more so if it wasn't like
Man,
more
wouldn't that have been incredible?
yeah, if it wasn't more multiplayer focused. Now this looks good. I'm not even a Souls fan at this point in my life, but like it looks good. I just think like that was a missed opportunity. I think like especially considering since you have Elden Ring's multiplayer game coming out. I forgot what it was called now.
It's Night Ring.
Night Rain, yeah. You already have Night Rain coming out. I'm like, just put that Night Rain on there and make this single player, you know?
Man, can it run Night Rain? Like, I don't even know if it's even is that even possible. Like, looking at the technology, that's another thing too. From just being a straight just tech nerd, looking at the technology, nothing blew me away. Sebastion,
Nah,
that's all I'm
same
saying.
here.
Nothing blew me away. Nothing was like, "Oh, that's fascinating," and that's the feelings you want to feel. Remember that feeling we all got, and this is for us gaming dinosaurs, those E3 reveals and stuff like that, or tech. Even you're super nerds, you just see a tech demo. We see a tech lighting demo, and like, oh, that's incredible. Like, you know, just off the simplest things. But this wasn't that for me. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't that. I didn't come away wowed or anything. And if anything, that's why when you see that price attached to it, I'm like, whoa, like that's that. Oh goodness.
$500 to get the console and the Mario Kart bundle, plus a Pro controller, which is like $80, plus any game that you want. You're looking at what
That camera
700?
doesn't come with it either, buddy.
Nah.
Let's not get it twisted. I think that camera is not included, ladies and gentlemen.
So you're $40 down the hole. Then like for most of this, they're still making you pay like the upgrade price or making you pay for like Nintendo Switch Online for not owning the games, and then you'll get upgraded if you have the Nintendo Switch Online for $20. So I'm like, you're already out of the hole $750 minimum.
Yikes.
You know what I
Yikes,
mean?
man.
You know what I
Goodness
mean?
gracious. And that's no library of games there, bro. Like you
Nah.
you don't have a library of games.
Nah, especially well,
some of them are games you already had.
yes. So I'm like, to play your old dusty games over again? No,
They're charging you, bro.
absolutely not.
They're gonna charge you. That is hilarious. It's just funny because it just comes off to me as such extreme extortion. Like it just comes out to me as extortion. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand how you charge your fans for this. And I think the fanboys are gonna sell out. Sebastion, they're gonna sell out. That first group, I feel like they're gonna sell all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The fanboys are gonna sell them. There's pent up demand from people, from the scalpers that be there. So I feel like they are gonna sell it out. It's gonna give the impression of popularity. But
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that if you look through the years, it's just hard. I'm hard pressed to believe that Nintendo will sell 100 million of these as it's been blessed to sell of previous consoles
Absolutely not.
at this price point. The price point seems prohibitive for selling that many units as they become accustomed to selling. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think they have a chance in hell of doing that. Like for one, the price point is there. I also think like Switch 2, I don't think did enough to differentiate itself in the market enough to where I'm thinking like, hey, like a lot of people who were on the fence about it is going to like jump on it. And then I don't think the launch library for the first year, from what we saw, is like big enough to have that early release jump to where like a lot of people who aren't wave one people are going to be like, man, I'm missing out. Because I'm like, for a lot of those people, a lot of the games they want to play, they can still play on their old Switch. You know, like
That's what Bowser said. He said, "Hey,
Yeah.
listen, if you we're
If
not
your
gonna lower the
broke-ass
price,
came
you
by.
bums. Go out there, and we're gonna keep releasing the dusty version for you guys.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And also, let me get on something else here about the Switch while we're on the Switch too. That's the "You Are Poor" button that is on there. That's called the C button. So now that C button right now, that C button is not for now. It's all good, guys. It's like credit. It's all good for now, guys. So until March 26th, it's all good. But guess what's gonna happen? Let's say March. I'm thinking
March 30th of next year.
I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, because I'm saying maybe because I don't even know if it's. Yeah, they're giving you the full month here, ladies and gentlemen. No, you might be March 15th. I'm thinking like I'm gonna say Nintendo's gonna give you the full month, but I don't know if they're. You're not guaranteed that. But just for giggles, let's say the whole month of March. Okay, so now April 26th, ladies and gentlemen, the check is due, right? The check is due. The check is due, and that check is gonna be a C. It's a form of C on your controller. That C that you used to be able to press to talk to your friends is now gonna tell you how you can pay, how it show you, and it's gonna basically tell you how you can be a better person. You know what I mean? How you can be a better person in your life.
And they won't even let you remap the button, man. They won't even.
No, bro. It's a we need to remind you to pay button if you're not paying button.
Mm-hmm. That is so messed up. Can you
it's
imagine?
Funny because it's on the controller. So
yes.
That's the only thing that's funny to me, because it's like a service. I get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The service goes away, but this is something that's physically on there that is not going to function.
No,
after April of 26, if you're not paying money.
And that's the natural controller. That ain't even like a pro version. That ain't even like the chat edition of the controller.
Right. That's the out the box, brother. It's out the box.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Man, they ain't getting me with this one. Not at least like they would have
to be. Were you there for the first one? You were there for the Switch day one?
Yeah, FOMO caught me on that one. Not day one. Okay. I was year one, and everyone was raving about Breath of the Wild. That was 2017. Man. FOMO caught me, and I had never really played a Zelda game beforehand, and everyone was talking about this is one of the best games of all time.
The quintessential, yeah.
Yeah, and so that one, they caught me on that one. They caught me slipping, because I didn't even like Breath of the Wild, if I'm being honest. I played through Breath of the Wild. I didn't.
Or you were underwhelmed? You came theater, you're like, oh, that's all right. Like, I felt like it was okay. How many hours did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it, sadly.
All right,
yeah.
So how many hours? I mean, to go through those credits, man, you put some time in.
I at least put 40 to 50 in there, because like I kept playing under the guise that something would click for me, and it would become like I would get the hype of not only Zelda but also this game. You know, like, and it also like I had very little else to play on my Switch at the time, and once you spend $350 on a brand new device, you kind of want to at least like
yeah, man, yeah,
play
absolutely.
with it a bit. So I'm like, something had to give, and I was like, something's gonna click, and it was me almost willpowering my way through that game. And it was a game to where I'm like, I didn't like the story because it felt like a bootleg version of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, if I'm being honest. It did.
Yikes.
Like,
goodness
gracious. Think about it like this: if I told you Avatar: The Last Airbender is about like a boy who basically some big shit goes on in all of like the world. He's absent for most of that, but he ends up like trapped and frozen throughout that whole entire thing's going down. He ends up trapped, frozen. He wakes up 100 years later and sees that the world is completely different, and it's up to him to basically change that world. And then he has to like learn each one of those elements from each master, you know, like fire, wind, air, water, and such like that. You'd be like, yeah, I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. You also play that game. It's called Breath of the Wild.
Goodness gracious, man. And you know what's funny? That's like the quintessential, like, you know, that's a very popular game. Did you play Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes, I did. Yes, because I thought
did you like it better?
No.
Or no, you felt more of the same, basically?
It was more of the same for me.
And it was more of the same, I think, to a certain degree. They weren't reinventing the wheel there either.
Yeah, I feel like they added a lot to it for the people who loved it. But
I don't think depth. You know, you can go up and down now and you know.
Woo, the depth. And you know, so like, I don't think it did enough for the people who didn't like the first game to make them fall in love with the second game. It's like, your weapon still broke. Now you can add physics and all that kind of stuff. The physics fun to all your fun puzzles and shrines and such like that. But it's not my series. I realized that, you know, like I even went back and I played the 2D Zeldas that came out afterwards and the top-down Zeldas. And I was like, neither one of these are for me. Echoes of Wisdom didn't do anything like that.
You know, I feel like the time has passed sometimes, Sebastion. You know, that sometimes the time has passed, man. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a kid picks up Duck Hunt and just doesn't feel like, hey, you know, I don't know what these guys were thinking. Like, you know, but at least Duck Hunt had the little interactive gun there now. But it's interesting because when you think about this situation that Nintendo is in, it's uncharted territory for them. I don't think they're just really used to stepping in it the way that they've stepped in it now. And I don't really know what the response is going to be here. You know, I think, but only because with the first wave, you're just not incentivized to lower the price. Like, if you know it'll sell out at 500, 600, 700, why would you not sell it at that? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, you're just going to get it. We're going to sell out either way. So we might as well run it up right now, and then we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So I'm interested, though. Like, I'm interested in what the lineup is going to be for wave 2 and 3 to get those people who are off, like on the fence. to get them back into the game of wanting to buy one. Because I'm like, you have to deliver. And don't get me wrong, Donkey Kong looks like it would be a fun experience for the people who want to play Donkey Kong. I'm not one of those people, but like, I don't think Donkey Kong is hitting hard enough to where like the people who are on the fence say, oh, "Man, I gotta get Switch 2 now. I'm playing.
Is there
I'm
enough
about to play
third party?
Donkey Kong."
Is there enough From Software games out there? Like, are there enough of those?
So that's an interesting question, but like, are you, even though this is more a more palatable and more powerful device that this than the Switch One, I still feel like this is going to be the worst way to play third party games. Still, you know, like I still get that feeling for some reason.
It's too close. I think that some of the better ways to play are still more expensive, but it's too close now. And the fact that it's so close and the games are significantly less in price, like some of those games you're going to be able to get. If they go bargain bin, that thing can go to a fourth. It can go to like $20.
Yeah, for
you're gonna
sure.
pay $80 for that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I don't see the point. And the thing is, as you do have new releases of some of these, even like your Rogue Allies and stuff like that, as you have new releases, those older ones go on sale. And I don't want to knock Nintendo here, but it won't surprise me, guys, if I was to go and look at some of the current specs that will be considered old and see if they're better than this new specs on the console that has not even been released yet at this point that we're talking. Like, there's a good chance that they'll be matching up, and those price points will be lower.
I think
they're going to be competitive.
I think this is going to be PS4 Pro specs, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think like for a portable device, but I still think that's going to be like docked. It's still going to be like PS4 Pro specs, type of specs,
topping out basically.
Yeah,
anything like that's the top of what it gets to.
I think that is, and I don't think that's disrespectful. I think that's cool for the people who are. That's going to feel like a huge jump.
Goodness gracious, right? Because then you're just this is for Nintendo fans.
Yeah,
that's what we're really getting at here, right?
Yeah, for sure. For the Nintendo sickos, this is going to feel like a huge jump up from the Switch One. For like people who are ingratiated in the other ecosystems, though, I'm like, I still don't feel like they're going to play their Switch for third party games like this. Like, think about it like this: it's like Cyberpunk, Game of the Year edition, basically the complete edition, is still, I think, selling for $60 on this thing. You can get that on Steam right now for like $17.99. You know, the whole complete edition.
There's the problem. There's a problem. Like, if you buy a Nintendo product, you're asking for it over and over and over again and over again. Like, why would you keep doing it to yourself? Like, just make this your Mario console. Just make this like if you buy this, you have to come to terms with yourself here. Like, in my opinion, it is a very expensive way for this to be your only console. Like, if you were decided to like gaming and you want to experience everything gaming has to offer, for one, you're capped on Nintendo because you're not going to be able to experience everything gaming has to offer. But if you were forced to buy games in that ecosystem, and it'd be locked into their price point. Yeah, that is ridiculous, because you're gonna be paying $80 for games, just like you said, that can go to $20-$30 overnight almost. And sometimes it goes within the same month of release. But you can't even get to 4 weeks without some games going on sale. Imagine going 4
Shadows
years.
Was already on discount, by the way. Like, as we're talking like right now, legitimately, Assassin's Creed Shadows came out like a month and a half ago. That some bitch is already $35 on different sites right now. You know, like, that's wild.
That thing, year 2025 on Nintendo, that thing will be full price in 2030, guys. 2030, 2031, Assassin's Creed Shadows full price in the Nintendo ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Not only that, Valhalla is about to be full price later this year. Valhalla and Odyssey gonna be bundled together for full price later this year.
You know what's funny is that too. You're running to your friends. If you're a Nintendo gamer, I gotta be able to run to you about Mario Kart, but how can I run to you about Valhalla? How can I run to my friends about these games that they played 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Hey guys, Valhalla just dropped. You're like, get out of here, man. It's not 2020. Get out of here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm talking about like, no, and I get it. Like, I think the big novelty with the Switch was like, it was a revolutionary console. It was taking console games and making them on the go. I think with the Steam Deck, with the Switch, with the ROG Ally, we've seen that before. Like, we've seen that song and dance, the Portal. I'm like, we've gotten, I guess, desensitized to that wonder of taking your games on the go like that. And I don't think it's going to hit the same for the sequel like it did for the original, you know?
It's not looking like it. And it's the first thing, too, also with the 2. You know, that Nintendo's actually decided to attach a 2. 2's the first console that Nintendo's released. They put a 2. And I think it's kind of appropriate because that's what sometimes that's what a lot of people, some people, but I've heard a lot of people say, are looking at it as just a bigger, better Switch.
Yeah,
It's not the product they're used to just changing things like Nintendo's used to doing. And it's not revolutionizing gaming. It's a bigger Switch. It literally is a bigger Switch.
It feels like the Switch Pro is what it feels like for a lot of people.
Yes, and exactly. That's what it is. I was like, that's what they should have called it. Oh man, that's what I told my friend when I was complaining to him about it because he's a Nintendo fanboy, and I was complaining to him about it because he's one of those Nintendo fanboys that I knew was not going to be able to afford this price point here.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Where I was complaining to him, we're kind of complaining about it, but that's what we were talking about. I was like, if they had just said that this is a Switch Pro, because you definitely attached a Pro price point to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you had said this is a Switch Pro and we're still working on the Switch 2, all right. Okay, maybe it buys you some time. Or we're still working on another console. Let's forget Switches altogether. We're working on another console. Let's just get out of here. But you don't work on other consoles, and this seems like this is gonna be it. Like this is it.
And
this is what they're presenting, and this is what it's going to be.
I almost wish they would have done 2 SKUs. Like I almost wish they.
Me too.
Yeah, which I almost wish they would have did like the Xbox Series X and X for the Nintendo Switch. But not called them those ridiculous names of Series S and X, of course, but like almost like did a Switch 2 to where it's a little Switch, but then like for the game sickos who want to have a hardcore gaming system, almost did like a GameCube variation of that to where it's a dedicated console and you got to play like these big beefier titles to where like you're playing the highest version of what those consoles could be. I almost wish we got that, but of course we're not. Of course, this is Nintendo, so we're never going to get that. But like, yeah, I think that they didn't entice me enough, but I also think like they made a lot of people, including myself, a little more angry with it. Kind of came across as arrogant, like
it seems a little bit though, right? Doesn't it seem a little bit? It seems like
it's that
nerve a little bit here.
You remember the you remember like the PlayStation when they went into the PS3 era? It almost felt like they were feeling themselves.
Bro.
They put that.
Yes, the same thing. It happened to Xbox and the Xbox One era. We've seen this before twice, guys. We've seen it happen twice. It did happen in that PlayStation era, and they were very arrogant coming off the 2, coming off the success of the 2. They were extremely arrogant, and I feel like they lost to the 360 that era. So then now the same thing it's exactly the same thing for the Xbox One. The same thing happened. Remember the DRM situation is always going to be connected. It's a television. It's all this stuff it'll do for you.
You can't play physical games, like
it was a bunch of tone deaf marketing from Microsoft coming off the high of the 360. You know what I mean? And now here we go, coming off the high of the Switch. Something that you just don't expect Nintendo to do because they don't usually step in it.
Not like this, at least,
surprised me, for them to see them step in it to this degree is kind of surprising.
Here's what really made me feel like they were on their arrogant kick, like to where like, oh, they feel like they're unbeatable right now. This game right here is called Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. This is the definition of what a packing game should be. Like this should have been
demo, bro. It's a tech demo, man, and this is embarrassing. Demo. This is where it gets embarrassed. This is where it looks like Nintendo's under the. It's not the people under the bridge who come to your car with the cup out. You know what I mean at the light. But that's what's happening here. It's just like, hey, man, you got a little bit of change for us, man, because we're gonna show you how this thing works, but not for free. This is how we're gonna show you everything we feel like it can do. This should have been included. This should have been included because I still might not play this included, but this should have been included. This should have been something. This should have been something that you include, but the nerve of you to charge for it is incredible. Like the nerve of you to charge for your tech demo.
I'm rolling. You say I still might not play this if it was included.
No, I mean, come on, man. Let's just be honest here. I mean, you didn't crack your new Switch 2 to see stuff like this happen. And the thing is, it's not that it's bad, but it's just something that you should show to your friends. It's fun. Like, hey guys, look. It's one of the things my new console can do that I just paid an arm and a leg for it, and now I got to work extra hours for. Let me just show you some things it can do. But now you got to work even extra hours to even show you that.
This is the type of game when you get a new console, but you only get one game, and this is the game that might help tie you up a little bit until you able to afford a new one.
I remember those days, man. I remember those days. And this is sad, man. This is sad. This is supposed to be the thing that at least I can play this. Now imagine this. You spend you do the 450, you go to 450 route. You got nothing.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you got anything. I don't think you have anything special.
But your old
back
games,
in the days when you had something, you got playing the stuff you already had. You just paid $450.
At least back
Right?
in the day, like when you bought the Wii, you knew you were getting Wii Sports. Guaranteed.
Yes.
It came with it. You know, like
major deal too. Major big deal. It's a
Yes.
major bet. It is a seller for your console.
Yes, and you know, Wii Sports was almost just as big as the Wii was at that point. Like
Yes.
old folks
Became a
were loving
phenomenon.
Wii Sports.
Became
Yes.
a phenomenon for sure.
Now this janky little tech demo doesn't look
Yeah.
like it's on the level of Wii Sports, if I'm being honest. It doesn't. But you know, you could at least gave it a chance. Like you could at least gave it a chance. This, I don't feel like you gave this any chance to where anyone who's not just like a Nintendo sicko is going to want to play this. You know,
Look at this. Like it's explaining stuff. If you're not looking on the screen and you're listening, it's explaining stuff about how the Rumble works. It just deconstructed the controller. Do
And
you
you
want to
know-
be? Is this why you bought your Is this what you purchased this for?
So you know what really ticks me off about this though? The fact that they charged $10 for this after Astrobot came out on the PS5. You know, like Astrobot came,
Yeah, man.
and you know, Astrobot, for people who didn't know and don't have a PS5, there's a free packing game of Astrobot that comes with your PlayStation 5. You can just play
It's
it at
there.
any given time. You can download
It's way
it.
better
and
than
play
this too, by the way, guys.
And it's
Way better than this. Oh
10
my god,
times
they
better
they
than
put
this.
like effort into that.
It.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying no effort was put in this. This is no knock on Nintendo. I just really strongly feel like if somebody pays this amount of money for a console, stuff like this should be a free experience.
This is the type of
On said
game that
console.
you that we used to go to the kiosk. It like back when they had kiosk at the store.
And they're trying to beg you to play it. They can't even get you to stop over there to play it then.
No.
You know what I mean? And then, but when you do, you're kind of like, all right, well, maybe you're sold on a little bit. But hey,
Yes.
man, now they got to let you know that, hey, buddy, sorry, but this is not included, man. Like, you're going to have to.
And I know they ain't needing cash like that. Is what's so bad about it. I'm like, I know they ain't needing cash. You know, it'd be different if you were like strapped for cash. If this was like the Wii U era, and you know, Wii U didn't sell hardly anything compared to a lot of other consoles. If you were coming off the back of the Wii U, and I'd be like, okay, they need some cash. Like, hey, they came off of a miss. They fell in their face. Like, they need to recoup a little bit. I would maybe be a little more understanding than this. Like, this came off the back of the second highest selling console of all time in the Switch too. The second
What do you think about
highest
this whole
selling
game
console of
card
all time.
situation too? What do you? It's red now, guys. Let's
You
put
know,
that,
I didn't
ladies
even
and
care.
gent.
I didn't care about that. It's like, this is the part that got me though, the memory card thing. You know, like,
Disrespectful still too. That's a disrespectful amount of storage, in my opinion, still for that price point.
yes. And then they like capped it off to where you can only use a certain memory card now, like a certain type.
You know what time that is, right? Because we want
Yes.
you to pay us more money.
That's
That's
exactly
what
what
that's
it is. I'm like, and you know, any given memory card would probably work for this. We just want you to pay this.
It should.
You know
This
what I
isn't like
mean?
cutting edge technology. I'm trying to tell you guys, it's not cutting edge technology.
Yes.
Of course, it should work. Any of your standard SD cards. I have a 2 terabyte cards, or cards that are at least a
Yes.
terabyte memory cards. I think it'll suffice. I mean, you can power your games here.
That's exactly right. On the Steam Deck, I can use any memory card I want, and it'll run
Yes.
anything that I want. And I'm like, that's absolutely crazy. Here's your bootleg C button, by the way.
Yeah, that your poor button. You know what that C button is? I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember daytime television. Daytime television, for people who can't remember, used to be a lot of commercials, like college commercials telling you but why you're a loser, things that you could do. You know what I mean? You can go to this college. Maybe you can pick up a trade. You can go become an HVAC guy or something like that. That's what this C button is for you. It's daytime television telling you that, go be a better person if you can't afford to press this button. If you can't afford to press this button, we're going to let you know every single time that you can be a better person and pay for us.
That's
Literally
crazy,
that.
though. That's absolutely
Now,
crazy.
it's in when you look at the fact that some of these features are bundled in online services on other consoles. I'm not saying that it's not, but there's no button that physically would not work on any of my controllers if I did not pay extra money for them to function. Like, there's no button that I cannot
Absolutely
press.
not.
Like, now my select button doesn't work. You're not paying this month? No, you can't use your X button. Forget about it.
That is crazy. Can you imagine not having your PS5 and you can't use the PS button no more because you pay your PS?
You're not paying, man. You're not paying. You're not paying us. We're gonna let you know how you can pay us every time you press it.
That
what we're gonna
is
do.
wow, absolutely wow. So, is there a world where what's the price where you would get a Switch to?
I think that it significant low for me. I think for the casual fan, I thought it would come in at, if they could get a 3 in front of the number, I thought it would be a home run for them. If they could get a $3.99,
Yeah.
I know it's only $1 difference, but if they could find a way to get that 3 in front of that number, I felt it would have been a home run for them. Or even if it's 400 flat, fine. But 450 seems like a stretch, and with a game 500, come on, that just seems to me like so exorbitant of a price point for the average fan. And I think for me, because I'm not even there, I'm not even a day one guy
No,
in
same here.
general. So for me, if I'm on the coming in that second tier, I'm going to need to drop significantly from there. You know,
Can
If
you
it's-
imagine being a parent and you didn't know about it though?
It's over. It's over. That's just not happening. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you some guys about this 500 game stuff. I was a blessed individual, but I used to think I was a blessed individual because my mom used to give me these games like Street Fighters, like $80, $70, $80 back in the day. And I always was blessed with having a console in my house. But now that I think about it, I think that my mom, because I had 2 brothers, was just getting 3 for 1. She knew that she can get one thing and then it would entertain all 3 of us. So that was actually less money, because now it's not really $80 for one person; it's $80 for 3 people. Like, you know, so you're breaking this down. So I felt blessed to have stuff like that. But let's just make this understood right now: there's no universe in which I could ask for anything 400 and something. Like, there is just no, I don't even know how to broach this subject with my parents. Like, hey,
No,
I got this Switch 2 coming out, and how much is it? Yeah, it's $450.
No.
But you wait, I need a game though. How much is that? Oh, that's $80. That's $80.
$80 is
And if it's
ridiculous.
anything but Mario, you got Mario Kart. Okay, it's $4.99. But just know that it's not happening either way. Like the $4.99, it's laughable to me, because I know in my household I was gone at 400. I was gone. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. It's laughable to think I'm gonna get above that.
No, I didn't even, that's crazy too. Cause like I'm the exact same way, because like the PS2, I had the PS2. It was one of my favorite things in my lifetime around that time. I legitimately would just ride or die for that PS2 back in the day.
Yeah,
Like so I'm like, I knew in my heart of hearts, as soon as I heard that PS3 was $600, I never even asked. I was like,
Right.
I never even,
It's over
Yeah.
with, right? It's over.
I never even broached the subject. I was like, I never even broached the subject. Like, I never even thought to myself, I'm like, oh, as soon as I heard 6, I was like, oh, well, that ain't gonna be for me then, dog. You know, like, I'm gonna have to get that when I'm grown.
Some
So
things just aren't for you. You got to take yourself out. Then that price point took me out the game as well.
it took me out,
Absolutely.
straight took me out. I didn't get a PS3 until I was damn near working myself at that point. So, like, I want to ask you this, you know, like, okay, with the Switch follow-up questions, like, I just looked at the price a little bit for a PlayStation 5 digital right now, selling right now at $350.
Man,
A Xbox Series S selling right at $299. Xbox Series X selling used right now for $400. Those not look like a more enticing offer for a parent or just an average casual gamer than a Switch 2 at this point.
I think that the issue and where a Switch 2 is going to have some pushback is the different consoles, because you know those are like how they're not really, don't, unless you count a PlayStation Portable, they're not portable options, right? So Switch is going to always say, hey, well, this is gaming on the go, we're going to charge you more of a premium for the gaming on the go type of situation. So I could see them arguing that. I just don't think that from a value, I just don't see where the value is. From a tech standpoint, I don't see where the value is. From the perpetually being locked into an ecosystem that's going to charge you $80 at every iteration of a game release, you're paying for that over and over again. So it's not like you paid for it once and you just took that lump and now it's over with. No, you're paying to take these lumps over and over and over again. And I just don't see that. I just don't
If
see
it makes you feel any better, Donkey Kong is going to be $70, $80.
Yeah, I saw them try to say this pricing of games we think comes across to me like games we think we can get away with.
That's exactly
You know
what
what I mean?
it is.
Just what games can we hold over their head where we know that you bought this console to play? And we all know one of those games, Mario Kart. You don't buy any Nintendo console not to play Mario Kart. We got to play Mario Kart no matter what Nintendo console we're on. So we're going to charge you whatever for it. Because it's like at this point, we know you bought the Nintendo to play Mario Kart and Zelda. Okay, for a lot of fans, fans out there, they're going to play those. So we're going to charge you whatever we want for those games, because you don't want your shiny $450 console going to waste, right? Just sitting over there collecting dust. And if you want to play it, you only bought it usually to play a few games. And those games are like Mario Kart.
Crazy. Man. I'm looking at So I'm looking at the Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild and Zelda, and I'm like, damn, man, it ain't even the complete edition, by the way. You still have to, if you want DLC for Breath of the Wild, you still have to buy the DLC. Let that sink in for a second. If you want this, it ain't even the complete
they said, "Hey, it's
edition
Zelda,
for it.
man. It's Zelda. It's not Zelda and the DLC, man. It's
That's
wow.
wow.
Nintendo, in my opinion, here you can't blame them because they're making their position clear here, and their position is pay us for everything. You know what? In the chat section, I was watching Nintendo. They were doing their Mario Kart Direct, and somebody in the chat section, one of them, what was well, it was a comment that was the most one of the most upvoted comments was thank you for not charging us for viewing this, Nintendo. This is very like we very much appreciate paraphrasing, but very much appreciate you not charging us to watch this, and that's kind of the sentiment now in Nintendo. Because Nintendo's like, listen, to mess with us, make this family friendly. To mess with us, it's gonna cost you money, bro. We're not even gonna we're Apple now, bro. We don't care no more. We don't care. We're just gonna tell you it's gonna cost you money to be with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just not even ashamed at hiding it. Like the camera, all that stuff too. You know how when they show you like the 450, you see that 450, but they show you the camera, they show you the Pro Controller, they show you the docks and all that shiny stuff. And you're like, oh man, that's not you. It's not you, Mr. 450. So that's about $800 worth of gear over there. Like, so it's like, at this point, that's kind of how it's coming across me, man. Nintendo just doesn't care.
The Nintendo Switch is going to be the Jordan release date where people are going to be mobbing each other for a Switch 2.
Yeah, man.
I got to ask you one last question here. Who's got bigger PR problem right now? Nintendo with the I guess the pricing of the console, the pricing of the games. You have, if you broke, we got the earlier editions of the Switch that you can buy. The hubbubaloo.
Man, goodness gracious.
Yeah, hubbubaloo about the different staples of games and how much different games are going to be priced. Or what was the price of their packing game, $10. All that, the outrage of fans about the pricing of Nintendo are Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavs.
Goodness, man.
Who's got the bigger PR problem at the point?
Man, this is an absolutely easy answer in my opinion here, and this is gonna be Nico. It's got the bigger PR problems because Nico's PR problems are what 45, 26, and they can go on for a long time in the NBA. In what age, given healthy, let's just say that you decide you want to play another 10, 12 years. Nintendo can be over this in 10 years.
Yeah, they could.
Now, 10 years down the line, if Luka's still hoisting chips and even putting up 25, you don't have to put up 45 like he gave the Mavs when he on his homecoming or his I guess ex homecoming. You know, you don't have to do something like that. If he can just 10 years from now be contributing to a finals contender, somebody's going to bring this trade up.
By 2 years, this whole thing with Nintendo might blow over. Within 2 years,
it's going to blow over with a price drop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As soon as Nintendo drops the price, this blows over because Nintendo is a great company. Like, it's not about what they're offering. I don't feel like the value proposition is there, but it's no knock on the company in of itself or the product in of itself. Because I think that they're still going to sell out of it. There's still a demand for it. I just feel like it's unfortunate because a lot of their fans that would love to participate are going to be priced out of it. So when you open that price point up to more participants, I think that's going to make a difference. But there's nothing Nico can do. It's over. You've already made the trade. Nothing you can do.
Hey guys, sorry about the jarring transition / ending. I'm just going to let y'all know that Reggie and I go very deep into basketball from this point on. So I'm skipping ahead to the sign off. You didn't miss anything video game wise, but as a special bonus episode, I will be posting everything that he and I said for all you sports lovers out there, especially basketball lovers. We're going to be talking deep into all that kind of stuff for the next hour or so. So for all you video game fans, I didn't want to subject you to that if you're not into sports, but if you are, go check out his podcast and check out the rest of the episode, aka the bonus episode that I'll be posting. Anyways, I've been Sebastion. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah. It's a single player experience.
Sebastion on the mic, we keep it fun and delirious. Talking about the games we love, the ones that make you smile. From the classics to the new drops, we running them out. Indie gems on the rise, big titles in the mix. Ranking all the legends, see who really getting picked. Gaming news, reviews, and debates we discuss. From PlayStation to Xbox, it's the culture we trust. On the Steam Deck, I'm moving, playing on the go. PlayStation be the wave, Xbox steady with the flow. But the Switch, we respected those exclusive shine bright. Still don't play it much, but Zelda and Mario are tight. Sebastion got the right single player in his soul. He's got you playing games that'll make you lose control. From The Last of Us to Cyberpunk, we vibe. Getting lost in these worlds, man, we're feeling so alive. So listen up, we break it down every week. Game and debates, no holds barred, we speak. Single player experience, it's more than just play. It's where we talk about games and vibe in every way. Let's get it. Single player experience, Sebastion got the helms. Talking all the sagas from the kingdoms to realms. Day one with the console spawn point for your news. Tune in to this podcast for rankings and reviews. Hey, it's a single player experience, we on that grind. Sebastion on the mic, got that game on his mind. Racing on that GTA 4 so we never fall behind. On that Red Dead Redemption, we outlaws by design. We got that EA mindset, y'all, it's in the game. On that GTA hard, swinging lane to lane. All W's all day on Hall of Fame. NBA 2K, just one more turn. Civilization got me playing all day. When guys like Luffy, I'm a warrior in the sea. The Last of Us, Ellie and Joel, pulling my heartstrings. Got that persona mentality, all is not what it seems. Playing Kojima games, wondering what does this even mean. Single player experience, Sebastion got the helms. Talking all the sagas from the kingdoms to realms. Day one with the console spawn point for your news. Tune in to this podcast for rankings and reviews. Got a Royal Cradle swinging that ass. On that Backlog hard, always bet on the blast. Halo on the Xbox, Master Chief, we making the attack. With that retro gaming vibe, always running it back. Batman in the shadows, we fight for the night. From Night City, Cyberpunk to college football highlights. We got the Steam Deck rolling, always ready to play. From Hades to Yakuza, we out here all day. I'm on the PlayStation 5, got the power in my hands. Xbox Series X, that's where the future stands. Nintendo Switch, what's wrong with you fans? Steam Deck rolling everywhere in demand. Single player experience, Sebastion got the helms. Talking all the sagas from the kingdoms to realms. Day one with the console spawn point for your news. Tune in to this podcast for rankings and reviews. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's get it.
Hey, man, it's been fun. It's been fun. Time flies by, you know, when I can talk the sports and talk the games and get a chance to crap on Nintendo about this terrible decision. That
No lie about that.
Nintendo, that's where things went off the rail. We were about to get off the show and everything was done. We were about to wrap up. We had one more thing to talk about. And then Nintendo got brought up and then we talked like another hour or so.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It just snowballed from there. Where can people find you, though? Where can people hear this magnificent voice of yours?
Reggie ATL, all the platforms, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, as well as this show called Just the Stats, show that I do with a guy named Eugene Morton. And I'm doing a sports show called Sports Cribs. I do Wednesdays, but that sports like a live show. I'm doing that show tonight in actually about a couple hours. So
Okay. All right. So everybody, I will try to provide those links in the description below. Reg, thank you so much for doing this again.
You got it, my friend.
All right, man. Until next time, peace, everybody.